evening and welcome to Thfc Till I Die. And after that brilliant result yesterday, Tottenham Hotspur 6, Leicester City 2. And with me is Mark's popped up somewhere. I don't know where Mark's gone, but he will return. Oh, with me on the channel tonight is my usual co-host, the Godfather, who was actually at the game yesterday, Philip Brady, and the Queen of Spurs, back from holidays now. Just got a holiday blues out of the way. Queen Philip, how was it yesterday? You had a good journey yesterday. What a game to go to.
Yeah, it was a long old day, all right. But yeah, I mean, to get the 6 goals, the result, and Son to get the hat trick was quite amazing. I mean, I don't think you've ever seen such a crowd reaction when that first goal went in. It was as if someone just let a balloon off the air, just went out, and it was just brilliant. And the way the team got around them, every to a man, and sort of hugged him, it was just brilliant. And yeah, I mean, I didn't expect Spurs to win 6-2, to be honest with you, but I'll take it every day of the week, you know.
Yeah, it was. And Mark's joined us. I'll get to you in 2 seconds, Mark. Ellie, you were also at the game yesterday. What was it like for you?
Oh, it's truly fabulous. The first half wasn't too clever, made a lot of errors, but the second half we bucked up our ideas and got to get in those 4 goals in the second half actually. But Sonny was sensational, and there was 7 Korean fans in front of me with 2 English fans either side with Son on their back, and I had Son on my back, and we were fist bumping, and it was such a fantastic feeling when that first goal went in, and what a superb goal as well to break his duck. Fantastic, world class, Sonny.
It is. And Mark, how are you? Welcome to the show, sir. How are you? And did you enjoy the match yesterday? And where did you watch it from? I guess where you watched it from, but we
can guess where I watched it. Yeah,
you watched it in your shed, didn't you?
Yeah, yes, I was. A shed that sold beverages.
Yeah. Special type of beverage.
Yeah, it's called the pub.
What do you think of the match, Mark, from your point of view? And we will get into this later, but what did you quickly think of the match?
What, me?
Yeah, you, yeah.
It was all right. You know, I'm not getting carried away. Right, we scored 6 goals, but there's a lot of it that didn't really. It was average, to be honest.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get more and all difference of opinion. We've got to say hello to a few people in the chat. Big up, Chris. How are you, Chris? Big up, Jura as well. Big up. Big up, Mick. Big up, Mick. And then we got. Sorry. Then we got big up Pero. Big up Pero. He says big up DERMOTRON, Miss Spinelli. Big up to the Godfather. And what did you say to the boys at halftime, Mr. Brady? That's what he wants to know.
It's not repeatable.
Conte invited the Godfather down to the dressing room, and whatever Philip said, it worked. Big up, Lisa. I'm here just to say hi, but have to catch up the show later. Big up, boys. Have a great show.
You already. Thank you, Lisa.
Mark, Mick saying big up to you, Mark. Mick saying Jewel, and everyone's just saying. And here's my watch along body. The man from New Zealand, Shamu said Leicester should be sponsored by Jewel.
No more said on that one.
No more said. You know, that's just brought the show down to a whole new low level. And
I love Shamu.
Uncovered. It says big up everyone.
Big up, Amir.
Go, Sonny. Exactly.
What
we're going to do is I'm going to get the team up and I'll go through each for your marks out of 10 for the team, and then I will go.
Okay.
I will go last. Philip, that was the team it started with. I haven't got the subs. I'm sorry, I didn't have room to put them in, but we know Sonny came on, and we know Romero came on, as well as who else came on as well?
Royal.
Emerson as well.
Yeah, Emerson Royal came on.
Do you want to give me your out of 10 for this team? And if you want to talk about general plays, their performances, do so. So over to you. So what did you think of the lineup you made yesterday?
Well, I'm surprised not to see Romero playing. So I'm surprised to see Sanchez in. The kind of guessed Longley would play, and he played very well. Sessegnon and Perisic, the way they had them at the start, I don't think was a good idea to put Perisic on the right-hand side. He gave the ball away a good few times. Then when they switched, it was much better, So I'll give Lloris an 8. Again, couldn't fault him. Made one great save in the second half that kept us ahead. Sanchez, 5. He'd given the ball away a couple of times before the penalty, and that was such a lazy tackle. It was just, I think he thought he'd get away with it outside the area, but it was right on the line, which is a penalty. So, Dyer was okay. I'm not going to knock him. He got his goal, and that's 2 now this season. So I'll give him a 6. Longley, 7. The thing about Longley is you didn't really notice he was there because he didn't make any mistakes. So, that was quite good. Perisic, 6. He wasn't his best game by any means. Sessegnon, 7. He gave them their fullback quite a bit of trouble when he switched back to the left-hand side. Højbjerg, 7, although he did give the ball away a couple of times in dangerous positions, but got away with it. Betancourt, give him an 8. Thought he was brilliant. And the goal, delighted to see him get on the score sheet. Kulu, not one of his better days. He was well marshalled and never really got going. A couple of runs down the right, but didn't really affect the play that much, apart from his cross for Kane to get the equaliser, which is very similar to the one he gave in for Sessegnon against Southampton. So I'll give him a 6. Harry Kane, 7. Not at his best, but did enough to, some of his passing range was very good. Carlson, again, very bright for the first 20 minutes, but kind of faded after that. Wasn't really in the game that much. So I'll only give him a 7. A 6. Now, as for the subs, Son came on, give him 10. Couldn't give him anything less. Bissouma, 9. He changed the game when he came. He went 3 in the middle, and I hope that Conte has now seen enough that that's the way we're going to play in future. Because we are now got a solid base to defend the middle of the field for. We won't be overrun. We have those 3 boys playing in the middle of central defence. Who else came on?
Emerson came on.
Emerson Royal.
Didn't do a lot. It was 6. Was there any other subs?
And then we had Emerson, we had Sonny, and then we had Romero come on for Sanchez.
Oh yeah, Romero
came on. Romero came on.
Didn't do a huge lot except miss an open goal when it wouldn't have counted anyway. It was offside, but in a sense. So like the stars of the show for me were Lloris, Son, and Bissouma really.
And Bentancur.
Give Sessegnon a Longley and give Sessegnon a good mention for what he did. He's growing into the team, that young lad. And he chased down the goalkeeper at one stage. And I thought he was going to make the goalie make one of those, do a Mendy on it, and would score from 2 yards out. So it was a Jekyll and Hyde performance. We can see what Conte is trying to do, and he's getting there. But what makes me so happy is we've got a team that's not playing anywhere near their capabilities, and we're scoring 6 goals. What's going to happen when this thing all clicks? So, to be where we are now and not been playing well is sign of a good team, even though it might not all be shown on the pitch.
Big up, Philip. Mark, give your team out of 10 for the whole team and your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on each of them. Who thought played well, who didn't play well. And so I'd love to hear them. So on your way.
Basically, what Philip said, apart from Sessegnon was at fault for their second goal, I thought. He ran past him far too easily. Sanchez is just a donkey, to be honest. Like, he was awful. 3 minutes and he gives away a penalty.
He's one of those donkeys that goes up the mountain and doesn't come down.
It was awful. And to be honest, it's like I said in the back room. I can't understand. We're at home to bottom of the league, and we had 44% possession. I mean, I mean, all right. Leicester, they're half sensible side, but they're not bottom of the league for no reason. They're pants. They're absolutely rubbish. Like, Brendan Rodgers is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. I mean, to me, I was disappointed. All right, we won and we scored 6 goals, but it wasn't good for me.
Was there any part of the game yesterday, Mark, that you thought, wow, we're doing well here? Or did you just thought the whole game, the whole performance,
No,
because it was against Leicester and they are bottom of the league, you just said, look, this was a load of crap?
no. What Philip said, when we went to 3 in the middle, that gives us the control.
Yeah.
How many times have we said this? Any half sensible, well, any team with an ounce of common sense just puts 3 in the middle and we get overrun. It happens every single time. Every time. You know, because Højbjerg and Bentancur, they can't cover 3 or 4 of them in the middle.
No.
You know,
it's
in the
not
game, and I agree with Philip, the game completely changed when Basuma come on. And Sonny just did what Sonny does, or he ain't done it for 6 games. But I mean, some of them finishes were outstanding.
Yeah, they really were, Mark. Absolutely.
Left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
Left foot and right foot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice honest opinion there, Mark. Nice
Good
honest
honest opinion.
opinion.
Ellie,
Yeah.
I want you to go through the team, give marks out of 10 for every the players, and just give us your thoughts on each player if you can, please.
Right. I'll give Lloris an 8 because he done fantastically well. He saved the penalty as well, but was a judge to have come off the line. But I think that was a bit harsh, to tell you the truth. I suppose by the letter of the law it is correct. But he done some really good kicking as well, I noticed. He done one fabulous ball that actually swerved and cut back. I don't know if anybody noticed it in the chat, but it was brilliant. It was like chopped. And it fell right for, I think it was Kulu who was running onto it, if I'm right. Yeah, but it was fabulous. And then he done lots of other little things that were really good, you know, handling the ball when he was put under pressure. He didn't make any duff passes, which I was very well impressed with. Right, so Sanchez, I'm being really generous here now. I'm going to give him a 3 because he gave the ball away so many times. He gave the penalty away. He done a few good passes. That's why I'm giving him a 3. Otherwise, he would have got lower. He's just suspect and he's so nervous on the ball. He makes all the crowd feel nervous, and you feel the tension in the stadium. I don't know about you, Philip, and because I know, Mark, you didn't go, but you can feel the tension. Yeah, whenever he's got the ball.
The tension never got into the danger zone, but it was there on occasions. You know, whenever a bad pass was given away. If I remember, Perisic gave the ball away on the right-hand side once, and there was a sharp intake of breath, all right. But it never really reached
he doesn't normally lose it.
Yeah.
True. I'll give Dyer a 7 because he played very well. He done a few duff passes in the first half, but that's Dyer for you. He does do that, so we expect that as Spurs fans. Longley, I'll give him an 8 because he didn't do anything wrong. His distribution was fantastic. And he got up the pitch really, really well. So I'm giving him an 8. And he's done some really good link-up play as well. Sessegnon, I also give an 8. Because his energy was endearing, you know, like it was up and down, up and down, up and down. He did make one mistake. Otherwise, I would have given him a slightly higher mark. Because I thought him and Bentancur were the 2 best players in that, especially in the second half. But the first half, he was doing a lot of running and a lot of link-up play with Richarlison. Richarlison wasn't so good, but I'll give him an 8. Højbjerg, I'll give him a 7. Played a good game, gave the ball away a couple of times like most of the other players. If he didn't give it away, he set up the goal for the Sonny for the 3rd goal. Really timed his pass really well. So I'll give him a 7. Bentancur, I'll actually give him a 9. I love the way he played. He was fantastic. And his goal, when he was pressing them so much and his energy levels were really high. And like I said against Fulham, I didn't even realise he could run that fast. But he's proving me wrong. He's a really fast runner. So I'm going to give him a 9. I'll give Kulu. It's a hard one with Kulu because he was marked out of the game, really. He was really heavily marked. But what he did well. You know, keeping the ball and he set up Kane for that brilliant pass. So I'll give him a 7. Kane, I'll give him an 8 because the second half performance was really good. He was spraying some lovely passes, and he did one run which was superb. He beat 2 players, and then he cut it across, but we didn't actually score from it. But it was brilliant. The whole crowd held their breath, you know, because it was so good. And then the players that come on, I'll give Basuma an 8 just for being there and doing what Basuma does normally that we know he can do. And he shored up our midfield. We looked a lot stronger. Højbjerg and Bentancur could actually relax a bit as well, because normally they're doing the work for 4 players. So I'm with you, Phil. I hope they keep that formation. Sonny, I'll give a 10 because he was fabulous. I'll give him 10 just for the first goal, but the second goal, fabulous as well with his left foot. You know, and the third goal was just an easy tap-in, really. It was a bit of a scuff shot, but it still went in. And all the players that came on, Romero, I can't really give them a mark because they weren't on for long. Maybe I'll give them a 16, all the players that came on. Yeah, it's a bit unfair to give them more.
No, that's fair, Ellie.
They did.
That was great.
They didn't have time.
Yeah, fair play to Ellie. That was a great comments there. For me, I'll give Luis an 8. I think he made one fantastic save, I think, in the second half where he saved that.
Yeah.
Sanchez, I agree with Ellie and Philip. He was poor. Mark. I mean, within the first 2 minutes of the game starting, he looked like Bambi and Ice. Looked like headlights had just struck him, and he just didn't know what to do. So, for all that's holy, and if there is a God out there and Moses is listening, please do not play him in the next game. I cannot take this anymore. Please do leave him at home. Leave him on the bus. Even leave him somewhere at Tottenham. Just let him out the high street somewhere. So go and buy yourself a bag of shoes or go and get some food for your missus and then go off without him. Just leave him. Never take him again. For me, I thought Dyer had a quite good game, actually. I'm one of his biggest critics. Thought he took his goal brilliantly. So played very well. Longlay's just class. He has been class since he's come to us. Segi, I fought for the second goal, but I agree with you, Philip. He did have a good second half. He did marshal his side very well. Perisic, Perisic's just pure class, so I'll give him an 8. I'll give Segi a 7. Højbjerg, I'll give him a 7. Not a good first half, but played better in the second half. Bentancur, I'll give an 8.5. Played well second half, took his goal really well. And for his goal, he really was on the money. He was quick off the mark. Took the ball while the Leicester player was just dithering, and he was there. Kulu, I give a 7. Not a great game, but did his bit. Harry, I give an 8. Not brilliant, but took his goal really well. And Richarlison, I would give a 7. Didn't really play that well for me. For the players come on, Sonny gets 10. It's a man of the match, 10 out of 10 for me. Took his goals really well. Delighted he scored. So pleased to him. Romero and Basuma. Romero gets a 7 or 8 because he did shore up that defence and we looked more comfortable with him, Dyer and Longley at the back of the 3. And when Basuma came into that midfield, I think he's proven to Conte he can do what Conte wants him to do. Yeah. So look, I just hope he gets a chance. And I agree with you, Philip and Mark, and I think Ellie as well. We need to go with three in the middle now on. Yeah. It's a must. It really is a must. Just Shamu sent in his player ratings. So I just wanted to get them up there.
Yeah.
Shamu gives Luis a 7, Sanchez a 4, Dyer 7, Longley 6, Cess 5, Perisic 5.5. From a Croatian fan for a Croatian player, that's harsh. Højbjerg 7, Kulu 7, Bentancur 8, Richie 6, and Kane 7. Big up Shamu. And look, anybody else wants to get their player ratings in, please do. And we just big up to United Spurs of America. Big up Jacob. Big up to HFC.
Jacob.
Big up Jacob.
The man with the husky voice.
I'll start with you, Philip. I've got a few questions written down with the team and a few individuals. So I'll start with you on this one. Where did I put it now? I'll start with this one. Philip, when Basuma came on, did he change the game for you in the middle of the park?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were crying out for him. He showed up to give the extra body in the midfield, which meant we were able to as Conte said himself in the press conference, having him on the pitch, then able to free up the talents of Kane and Son. It allowed Kane and Son to go that bit further forward and play. It was basically like the 3-5-2 that we've been sort of craving for. And look at the end result. Son gets a hat-trick in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And one thing, I just want to clear up a thing. And I know we're saying Leicester are crap and everything like that. Leicester are in a false position, in my opinion. They've got some very good players. James Maddison, what's his name, Harvey Barnes. They're not a team that's going to get relegated. They'll be okay. The fact that this is the first game they've played well all season will give them hope for the future, even though they lost 6-2. So, like, I mean, we really should not have given them the comfort of 2 goals, but we did, and it's happened. But they are not as bad a team as their league position would indicate, and they will come. They'll take great heart out of that game yesterday, even though they lost. You know, so they will be a mid-table team by the end of the season. And I would like to see us buy James Maddison in January if he gets pissed off. You know, he's very good. Yeah. You know, and the fact that Jamie Vardy came on and did not get one single touch of the ball filled me with great shit. I don't like that fella.
He's feeling for my liking.
Basuma did what he did to us against Brighton when he played for Brighton last April. He bossed the midfield in the short time that he was on. And surely he's shown Conte now that he's worthy of a start.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He really is. Philip, I'll go with you for this one. With Son getting the nod, was he at fault for the Leicester second goal?
He can't win every tackle. He was beaten in the tackle. It was, you know, shit happens, as they say. It happened. Yeah. And he probably should have done better, but he learned from that. You know, he will learn from that. That being said, I have to compliment. I know James Maddison is an Arsenal fan in his other life, but I mean that was some goal he got. Really, to beat Lloris the way he did, it was a very very good goal. I'll give him that. So yeah, maybe Sessegnon should have done better, but he didn't, and he learned from it.
He will. Mark, what's Sessegnon at fault for the Leicester second goal, and how did you think he performed? Do you know, as an individual, how do you think he played second half of the match? Sessegnon?
I've already said he was at fault for the second goal. I said that I never gave ratings, but I just agreed with Philip.
Yeah.
But but the Leicester player, whoever it was, I can't remember. He just seemed.
It was Harvey Barnes.
Was it Harvey Barnes?
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been Harvey Barnes.
Yeah. Well, whoever it was, just run past him, and it's like he wasn't there. And he sort of. Flicked it in the middle, and Maddison does. While I was watching the game, everyone said, we got to get that Maddison in. He is a good player. He's too good for Leicester.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. Do you know what, Mark? I do agree with you. Big up Bobby K. Big up Bobby K and the 3 Spurs boys. Big up.
Yeah.
Everyone go over and subscribe and like to the 3 boys. But Ellie, look, I'll go with you with Basuma as well. With Basuma coming on, and I said to Philip, did he change the game? I mean, you were there. How much did he change the middle of the park for you? Did he give balance, and did he give that bit of protection, do you think, for the back three?
Yeah, all of that, Dermot, plus more, because he's a class player. He knows how to hold the ball. He knows how to hold off players. You know, he's strong. He's willing to run for the team. He'll take one for the team as well if he has to. But what I was impressed with is the other 2 midfielders as well. They went forward, and then Basuma was the holder. You know, so he was sweeping up everything that was a danger. You know, he tried. He couldn't do everything, but what he did was very, very impressive. And his ball skills as well. You know, the way he holds the ball up very intelligently. And he brings players, he makes pockets of space for players by making runs as well. That a lot of people may not notice, but I as a midfielder, I played midfield. I was watching him really closely, and he made such a big difference and a great impact. Even so, Sonny got the 3 goals, but his impact was just as vital to get those 4 goals in the second half. Yeah.
And then I loved it. And then on Segi, do you know, him getting the nod.
Yeah.
We all agree it was at fault second goal, but how do you think he played
He
in
was.
general on that left side? And do you think, Ellie, that he cemented that left wing back for himself now?
I think so, yeah. And I want to see more of him because the boys come out of his shell. There was only one time I saw him when he was bombing down the right and when he was playing on the right and he just didn't want to take his player on. Yeah, and he checked and he passed it inside again. And I could feel the fans, I could hear them, saying, come on. They were encouraging him rather than before. It was, oh no, he's not going to do it. They were encouraging him, but he still stopped. And I was a bit disappointed in him for doing that. But overall, he had a very, very solid game and his energy levels were fantastic. I loved the way he ran up and down tirelessly for the team. Yeah.
Philip, we saw that Perisic played on the right side. And he was ahead of Emerson and ahead of Doherty. Spence wasn't even in the squad for the match. Do you think now we could see Perisic and Emerson as our right wing backs now for the rest of the season?
No, I don't know. I think Sessegnon may have done enough yesterday to get at least a reasonably long run in the team. Royale came on in the second half, but didn't do a huge amount right or wrong, really. He was adequate. I think most Spurs fans jump behind the couch when they see Royale playing at wing back. So I think most people will be saying, let's have Sessegnon in. But I still want to know, why is Jed Spence not in the other team?
Yeah.
I want to know that. He has a potential to be better than any of them. They're not Perisic or the others.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was so in the team that we had up in our pre-show, we had Spence playing that as right.
He wasn't even on the bench yesterday.
He wasn't even in the squad, and one bench. Do you think
there's something definitely going on in the background now?
Do you think, Mark, with Spence not getting his chance, do you think Conte has seen something in him, or do you think he's just not Premier League ready? Or what do you think could be wrong going on in the background?
There's obviously something going on, because we all know he's got a bit of an ego when he was seen like smoking cigars and flipping off what's his name, the manager that like sent him out on loan. I mean, who knows? I mean, he might have fell out with Conte. Who knows? I mean, none of us are privy to this information.
No.
I mean, there must be something going on, unless he's making a point to Daniel Levy that I didn't really want him. Because I said at the time, when we were rumoured to sign it, I was like, Conte's obviously got his list of the players he wants. You can't tell me that Jed Spence is top of his list for a wing back.
No.
You see, Mark,
a 19, 20-year-old, whatever he is.
See, Mark, I would disagree with that in a way, because I watched a lot of Spence last season and I highly rate him. I think he's a brilliant right wing back. He played brilliant for Nottingham Forest all season. I'm still convinced he'll be the next Kyle Walker for us.
But
and I do think if it was Paratici that's spotting him. Now, if he's gone to Conte and say, look, we've got this kid here who's got the potential, and you start coaching him, he could be a world beater. I'm sure Conte would love to take some young players and actually, coach them.
Not known for that.
You're convinced it's a Levy signing. You're
he's actually 22, boys. He's actually 22 years old.
Oh,
yeah,
not 21.
He's not known for that, though. He wants players that are ready for now. You don't want to develop them for 2 or 3 years. I mean, you only got to look at the way we brought Perisic in. He's about 30-odd. 30-something, isn't he? 31?
No, he's older.
He's 33.
He's 33. Yeah, he's quite old.
Philip, where do you stand in all of this? I mean, what's your opinion of all of this?
Well, my opinion is that there's no way Daniel Levy signed Jed Spence without Conte's go-ahead. It just does not happen. Because if he had done, Conte wouldn't be our manager at the moment. He would have walked.
Yeah,
that would be a gross breach of whatever agreement that they have over the transfers. So other than that, we're not a fly on the wall. We just cannot know what is going on. There's something going on. Possibly Conte just does not think he's ready for it yet. And he's given him a chance to blend in with the training methods he's doing. I just don't know. It's all until he actually starts playing for Spurs. We do not know what is going on. We probably never will. People can make all the surmising they want, but there's something there, but we won't know what it is unless it comes from Conte's mouth.
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
I was saying, though,
go on,
I
Mark.
was saying, I mean, you can't tell me that he was top of his list.
I don't know where he was on the list, but he certainly he was not.
No,
he was not.
He certainly wouldn't have been top.
Not,
It probably would have been that lad from PSG.
Hakimi.
Yeah,
Hakimi. That's him.
I
He'd
need
have
to
been
say
top of the list.
there's no way that he was signed without Conte's go-ahead. Not a hope.
No. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, that's all we can do. Big up to Stan Spur.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you before. Welcome to the channel, Sam. Thank you for dropping in. He says, big up, great show. I'll put this to you first, Ellie, and then I'll go around.
Yeah.
Then I'll go to Philip, and then
Okay.
you, Mark, or Mark or Philip, which way, sorry. He said, if you play 3-5-2, that means both Kulu and Richie on the bench. Right. What do you say to Stan Spur here?
No, you could adopt the 3-5-2 and have Kulu on the right, and you could have Richie. If you wanted, you could give Richie a free role because he roams anyway. You know, he doesn't have to be a left wing or right wing, but he's really a striker come winger, isn't he? So he can play all roles. So he can play a free role like Glenn Hoddle used to do. I mean, he's not as good as Hoddle, put it that way, but he's got something about him, the boy. He works like a Trojan. He's close control is something to desire. He's not really good at taking the ball when he's back to the goal. He tends to lose it quite a lot, and his passing is not up to point at the moment, but that'll get better because Conte will work on him. Yeah. But I'm just saying we can accommodate them. We can. And I want to see the 3-5-2 because I remember when we played Arsenal, when Nuno was in charge, the dark ages, right? And we got overrun, and I felt so sorry for my man Højbjerg because he was getting so much criticism that day. But they were just walking through us. Skip didn't come on for the second half. Once Skip came on, a lot tighter, and we actually beat them in the second half 1-0. You see, they scored 3 goals in the first half. So we need to shore up that midfield to give us a chance. And also, we'll play better because we've got another midfielder who can actually drive us forward, and then 2 can stay back and hold, you know, and they can alternate as well because they're all capable of getting forward. You saw with Bentancur yesterday when he did that fabulous press and he got the ball off Ndidi, you see. So I want to see more of that. And, you know, a little bit of leeway, you know, you've got to have one plan, but you can also put in different cogs as well, you know? Yeah.
I hope Stan Spur, you enjoyed that. Philip or Mark, do you want to add anything before we move on to anything Stan Spur, Perry?
Why has it got to be Kulu and Richie on the bench?
Well, they'd be the 2 most at risk.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but, you know, if we're going to play 50-odd, 60 games, then surely there's got to be a time when Harry's got to be on the bench. Because he can't play 50-odd games in the season. He'd be dead.
Like in the League Cup, in the FA Cup games, he can be on the bench. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like Conte
maybe
showed
not the FA Cup, but the League Cup,
Yeah.
Conte showed yesterday how to use the squad properly. Like he didn't show it in a few other matches. Against Sporting Lisbon, he didn't show it. He's shown now that maybe he's copped on that it's a squad game rather than a first 11 game. Yeah. And those substitutions yesterday changed the course of the match. And that's what subs are supposed to do. And it worked a treat yesterday.
Yeah, it rarely did.
Put it this way. If we don't play 3 in the middle in our next game, I'm not going to say who it's against, but everybody knows, we're going to get spanked. We will get spanked.
Against Arsenal, we will. Because they're very strong.
We get on to that because I will have a little build up. I've got all that for the end of the show about our next game. And we all got that there. Big up, Sandspur. And to give this to you, and a quick answer for you, Philip and Mark. I'll start with you, Philip, then you, Mark. Pedro says, do you think Kulu could play at win? Do you think Kulu could play win back?
He could. Whether he will is another question we're not going to know the answer to for a while. But yeah, he could do. He could do. Yeah.
Marky?
Against the teams down the bottom, yes. Because let's face it, hopefully he won't have to do a lot of defending. Nobody knows what he's like defensively. I wouldn't like to see it against Man City because they'll just tear us to bits.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to anyway. But they tear most people to bits.
Yeah, well, big up Pedro and Stan Spur. I hope you enjoyed your answers from the brilliant.
City don't like playing Spurs, though.
No, I know that. But the way they're going at the moment, you know.
they've got to come a cropper sometime. So
yeah.
I just want to go through some of the stats from yesterday. I know, Philip, you're not the greatest lover of stats. I do realise that, and I'm sorry. But I just found some of these stats, and some of them are head-scratching. They rarely are. And for what we were talking about before in the back room, Mark, this sort of backs up Mark's point.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've got three of them all done up in three. Look, Tottenham in the first half. I mean, Philip, do you want to go your thoughts on them? They're up on the screen. Do you know what's your thoughts?
The thing about these touches and passes, like I would only, the only pass to me that is a notifiable one, if you like, is one that causes a shot or a goal. I would say half of those Leicester passes were tippy-tappy around the centre circle and beyond.
Yeah.
They were in absolutely no danger to Spurs at all. So it does create a bit of a false impression. Like if you broke that down to touches in Tottenham's penalty area, then yes, if that was excessive, then yeah, I'd say we've got a problem. But touches and passes outside the penalty area are just that. They're not anything to really worry yourself about, because what it proves to me is that they've seen our defence is well marshalled and they're finding it difficult to get through. So they're taking 5 passes to do what maybe they would do in 1 if they had a clear sight of goal. So, again, I'm not the greatest fan of stats because, as I said, it's goals that win matches, not stats. But it's surprising to see Leicester had so many. But I say I just question whether the actual ones that in the red zone that hurt us. There wasn't that many of them.
Yeah. It's a great answer, Mark. I mean, I'm not a great lover of stats either, Philip, to be fair. But when I just thought for these post-match, I thought, well, they need to be built up because I'm sure people watching like the stats. So, I mean, Mark, these here, 651 touches to 795 to Leicester, 14 tackles. I mean, these ones here, this is the second one. We've got 8 clearances to 11 City. Do you want to talk through them stats very quickly?
Well, yeah. I mean, from them stats there, that sort of says that we were the dominant team. But when you look at the possessions, you ain't got possession, have you?
I have, yeah.
Oh, it was.
There you go.
There we go. I knew it was 44 to 56. But, I mean, that's pathetic. I mean, it's like I said at the beginning, Leicester are pants. Let's face it.
They're not pants. No, they're not. They're not pants.
At the moment, they're absolute pants.
Well, they weren't yesterday.
Well,
at the back they are. At the back they are, but in their midfield and their strikers, they're very capable. But their back line are horrendous.
I mean, I want to put this to Mark. Mark, you see the shots, 19 shots for Leicester, 16 for us, 7 on target, 11 shots on targets for us. We got 6 corners to 1. I mean, Leicester are a very good side. They're just going through a bad run at the moment. They've lost Schmeichel. They've lost a few players. They lost the player that went to Chelsea. They lost that Turkish defender. I think he went back to Turkey, didn't he, guys? The Leicester defender.
Solanke.
Yeah, Solanke. Did
he
go back to Turkey?
Yeah. I'll have a look because I don't know.
I think he went back to Turkey. You know, they're big shoes to fill. So, do you think that you keep calling Leicester a bad side? Are they bad? Do you think they're genuinely a bad side, or do you think they will get out of the trouble they're in? They will get a bit of form and avoid.
You answered your own question, Dermot, right at the beginning. The first things you said, they are struggling at the moment. They are struggling at the moment. That answers your question.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yes, they are an established Premier League team. They won the bloody thing a few years ago, unfortunately. But at the moment, they're struggling. So how the hell can they come to our place and have 56% of the ball? I remember when POCH POCH was in charge, we had 70% most games. You know, it's boring. I wasn't excited by the result yesterday. All right, we scored 6 and we won, but it's not exciting on the eye.
How can you, right, Mark? I'm struggling. I know, I appreciate your opinion. I respect your opinion, but
Yeah.
we've seen teams in the past. Philip will know what I'm going to say here. We've played like this before, and we've been excited to watch. But the other team have had more possession. Half this possession could be them passing it round their back four. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean, Mark, that they've just because they had a bit more possession. I mean, we scored 6 goals against them. You weren't excited at all of yesterday's match.
I was excited. The first half was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited when we switched up to 3-5-2. Basuma come in and changed the game. Sonny got a hat-trick. And that's the way we should be playing.
Mm.
You know, we've got all the strike force in the world.
Mm.
We have. But every game, anyone with an ounce of common sense, all the Premier League teams know it.
Mm.
This is what Chelsea done. It's what a lot of teams have done against us. You put 3 in the middle, you just overrun us.
Mm.
And we've got no answers. We haven't.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, but you say that, Mark. You say we haven't got an answer, but we're unbeaten in the league. We've only lost 1 game this season. And what you've got to take into consideration, we've not been playing well, but we're getting the results. Whereas last year we were playing well and we weren't getting some of the results early on, early doors, and then until we sorted out the wing-back situation somewhat. Because Conte was working on Emerson and he did improve. And then when Doherty came in, we even showed an improvement in that area. Even though they're not what we want, there was still an improvement there. And I think we've gone 16 games without being beaten. Then we got beaten by Sporting. Now we've started again. So we've got to take some positives. And also possession, like you said, Dermot. Leicester had a lot of the ball, but they weren't doing anything with it, really. They were passing it like we were doing when we had Winks, side. I was getting bored with their play. And they were doing it to frustrate us.
I wonder, Philip, were you watching that? You thought you were at a tennis game when Leicester had the ball?
As I said, I'd say there was maybe 2 or 3 meaningful touches in our penalty area. Anything further than 25 yards out, it's a sign to me that we were keeping them at our arm's length. Okay, it mightn't be pretty. It's the way Conte does it. He's done it at Chelsea. He's done it at Juventus. He's done it at Inter.
Yeah.
That's the way he's done it. We're not going to change that. But I will say one thing, but not getting excited about yesterday's game. I've been at a lot of Spurs matches, and I don't think I've ever gauged an excitement like there was yesterday when Son's first goal hit the back of the net.
Yeah.
It was quite unbelievable.
Really?
Reaction from the crowd.
I tell you, Philip, I couldn't sleep last night because I was buzzing after yesterday. I literally was buzzing. I don't know. I get the league table. We'll get that up for the end of the show. But I genuinely think we've got a great chance for the league this season. And I know people are going to call me delusional, call me that I'm not talking sense. I'm probably raising fairies. I don't care. I just think Conte's got a way of winning the league in his second season.
You've been on the pop again.
Special here.
I mean, if we
been on the pop again,
you know what? If you don't get excited by those Sonny goals, what is going to excite you? All right, the overall performance was mismatched, but the goals were fabulous. Every single goal was fabulous, and I'm sure that set piece coach is earning his money because we've improved. It shows we scored 5 goals from set pieces.
The only statistic that's going to show up at the end of the season, regarding whether it's passes in the area or passes in the halfway line, the statistic is going to show 6-2 to Tottenham. That's it. That's all people are going to be worried about.
And Deandre is still at Leicester, by the way. I've just looked it up.
Is he still there?
He's still at Leicester. Yeah, he's still there. He must be injured. I can't think of anything else.
Well, he was on the bench yesterday.
Just want to say big up to Chris. He says, DERMOTRON, the Godfather Philip Brady, Queen Ellie Hoybier, and Mark. Big up, Chris. And Chris, let me know. We love you on the show because we'd love to have you on for a post.
Get him on.
Get
I
him
promise
on.
you will not
Get the
get
Geordie
him
barred.
on.
point.
And believe me, the trap's been sent for you on Twitter. I'm just waiting for the right time. He's
Okay,
sent
Oliver.
it to you people. And I want to give a big shout out to Ollie.
Hi, Ollie.
Freeman. Big up,
Yeah.
Ollie.
Freeman.
Yesterday.
Listen,
Yeah, Ollie did his match video. You know the video thing for Dave's
Yeah.
channel. He did it in the queue on the tarmac at Stansted Airport, waiting to get on the plane coming home.
oh Lord. Listen, Ollie, I'll see you for the Ireland game. I'm really disappointed you can't come for that, Philip. I'm just really
Yeah,
disappointed you won't be there. But
Can't do that.
Yeah.
yeah, me and
Well, you got to go shopping for the missus.
What's that?
You got to go shopping for the missus.
Ellie, I mean,
I wish.
so anyway, big up, Ollie.
You
And
and his
then,
dad.
Julian says,
Very fun.
Son's goal celebration when he just stood there, I got emotional. Yes, I might shed
I
a
know.
tear. Look, I've got his
Yeah.
quote from that in a while, and we will
I
bring
know.
it up. It really-
True love.
big up
It was
to-
such a momentous moment.
big up
Yeah,
to
Wolf Muller.
Yeah. I said over at the Irish HOTSPUR, watching those Sonny's goals was euphoric. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can. It really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And
Nice one.
Ollie, big up
David
and
Harris.
Mark, you must be a hard man to please, sir. That's all I'm going to say. You must be hard. I'm joking, Mark. It is a joke, but I am joking.
I think what Mark wants, he wants to see better football, like most Spurs fans. We do, because we've been brought up on fantastic football, you know, and fantastic players.
Yeah.
Losing
We haven't
4-3.
hit our heights yet. We have got the players to do that, Mark. I
Yeah.
just think if we sign Madison, it'll be fabulous in January,
Yeah.
because he'll give us something else.
There
Yeah,
was loads of people I was with that said they wanted Madison to come in.
yeah.
We all
Clark
wanted
player.
Madison. We all wanted
Without a
Madison.
shadow of a
Yeah.
doubt.
Well, look,
Come on,
I'm
come my way.
this is part now. Look, with Spurs, I'll start with you, Philip, on this one. Then I go to you, Mark, and you, Ellie. With Spurs still unbeaten in the league, are we in the hunt for the league championship?
You've been
We're
on
in
the
the
pop
hunt.
again, Dermot. You have been on the pop.
No.
We're in the hunt. We're in the hunt because we're third in the league or joint second in the league, but
Yeah.
we won't be.
We're in the hunt. We've got our
We're in the
bayonets.
But
We've got our bayonets ready.
Unless Manchester City have a serious wobble, which I don't think they will, no one's going to touch them this year. You know,
I
we're
mean,
going to
there's
be top four definitely, but next and possibly next season, if we can recruit rightly over the next two transfer windows,
Yeah.
I might have a different answer to that question. But being purely realistic at the minute, I would love to say yes, we are in the title hunt. We're in the hunt. We won't get there, but we'll be one of the placed horses, if you like, after the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark, look, I've got the league table up there. We're joint second, 7 wins, played 7, won 5, drawn 2. We've got a better goal difference than Arsenal. We're equal 17 points. Do you know, why can't we not dream? We're one of the two, I think we're the only two teams still unbeaten in the Premier League. Why can't we not dream we're going to win the league this season?
Well, put it this way: the team at the top is like an elephant up a tree. No one knows how the hell it got up there, but you know it's going to fall.
Falls off soon.
You just know it's going to fall down. But
Anything off the tree.
it is. No one
Feel
knows how
sorry
the
for
hell
the
it
tree.
got there.
So
Yeah.
do
I
I.
know.
God bless the tree. That's a good one.
No, but to me, I mean, I forget what channel it was on. I honestly forget what channel it was on. But the way Haaland's going at the minute, there's bets like I'm quite confident in this as well. Haaland will score more than 1 goal a game in the Premier League. He'll get more than 38 goals this season. You could be talking 40. You know, because he's just scoring. Obviously, Man City are the team to beat. And they are. You know, I've been a Spurs fan for 50 odd year. But you've got to hold your hands up and say City are the team to beat. They are.
The only thing that's going to stop City is if Haaland gets injured.
Yes.
Because they'll become so dependent on his goals. If they dry up, they will dry up. And there's every chance he will, because, I mean, first season in the Premiership, he's not used to the rigors of it. And he
Just
could
need
easily
someone
get
to give him a
injured.
kick.
Well,
Just
that
need
could be
someone to give
arranged.
him a kick.
Even got
Thing
Romero's
is, Man City have got goal scorers all over the pitch.
Yeah.
Even their midfielders chipping.
Yeah.
Gundogan, he can get
They're
goals.
relying on
Mahrez can get goals.
at the moment.
Bernardo Silva, he'll chip in with 15 to 20. You know,
Ellie,
Even Grealish scored yesterday.
even
And they all said
Grealish
he was like
and
dropped off.
Foden will get you
Yeah.
15 to 20
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
you have to be at our very best in terms of getting the results to keep up there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we can do it because Conte's a wily old fox and he saw off the foxes yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they had a lot of possession, yes, but they didn't do much with it in regards to penetration. All right, so I think we've got our bayonets ready. Come on, bring on the Woolwich and we'll be ready for them, you know. But I want to see that 3-5-2 against them.
Ellie,
that gives us a good chance.
Ellie, will you at least back me up? Do you think we can win the league this year? Or am I just being delusional?
I do. No, you're not delusional. I think we can because we've got enough in our team. We need to strengthen in January, though. I think we need to get Maddison in and one solid centre back who's classy and can bring the ball. Who can bring the ball out, and then we can rest Dyer and give him a little rest. Put him in the FA Cup and the League Cup because however good he's been playing, right, he's still got limitations. The boy. You know, if we get somebody signed up, but I was hearing yesterday on the ground that we've more or less signed Bastoni. A lot of people were talking about it, that we've actually got in to agree. Conte agrees the 3-year extension. That's what I heard on the grapevine. I hope it's true. Because if we get Bastoni and then we strengthen with Maddison and maybe one more player, a solid right wing back, because it doesn't look like Conte wants to go with Spence. Not in the league anyway. Yeah, I think we can do it, Dermot, but we have to be very at our best in terms of getting these results over the line. Because Man City are not going to let up, are they?
No, I mean, look, you look there, Philip. Look, I know people are going to say, look, Dermot's been at the whiskey again. It's been at his special orange juice. You know,
that gin again.
Yeah. like Mark's at the beer. But look, we are the only two teams unbeaten in the Premier League. City do have an awful record against us, and if City start dropping points like against the other top 6 teams, and we pick up points, surely there's a chance for us that we could do well this year, or even run Man City close.
We will do well. I mean, as long as we listen, we have no control over what the other teams do.
No.
Except when we actually play them on the pitch twice this season. So it's up to us just to keep winning our matches and hope that somebody else beats Man City, that we beat Man City. They have a blip, they have injuries, they have a managerial crisis, they get done for financial fair play, which is probably never going to happen, but it should have done. We just keep winning our matches, and who knows what can happen. You know, I'm saying we're not going to win the league this year. If certain things happen, mostly to City, and we keep winning, that it is possible. It's highly unlikely, but it's possible.
Yeah. Just got a few people to welcome in. Lee Richards, big up. Haven't seen you in the chat for a long time, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't seen you in the chat since we were TTG. That's how long I've since you in the chat. So welcome back. Nice to have you, sir.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's not in the 10 Commandments that Spurs cannot win the league. I like that. That's good. As Spurs fans, we all have to get rid of this stupid psychology lot where Labour under. We Labour under. I worry it transfers to our players. Look, I totally agree with you, Lee. I think it's Lee. Is it Lee or Lee?
Lee Richards. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Look, I think we can win the league, and I'm sure everybody else knows we can definitely finish top 2, if not top 3 this season. So look, I'm positive. The rest of the panel here are positive on this channel. So yeah, but I do agree what you say. And also this guy, White Hart Lane, it says, hey guys, just want to say it's pretty funny hearing people say Arsenal are title contenders. I've got them for 4th or best at best. Look, Arsenal haven't played anyone decent yet.
But they played Man United, and look
They
how they
played
got
Man
on.
United and they lost.
Yeah.
So look, we're going to go down the 1st of October. They're going to find a very different Tottenham than they did last week. And then we've got one here from Wolf Muller. I heard Conte spoke to an Italian paper about not extending his contract beyond this season. Anyone else hear that? Look, I'm going to give this to one person in the panel. He will give you a very direct answer, Wolf. It will be from his heart. Philip, what's the answer?
This is the thing that surfaced last Wednesday or Thursday from some unknown Italian hack that nobody's ever heard of. That he'd heard that Juventus were going to bring Conte back in the summer. It has been never picked up by anybody else, not mentioned by anybody else. The likes of Fabrizio Romano, who can generally be relied on, has not even parroted it or mentioned it. So it looks to me as if it's more Italian bullshit. Conte's going nowhere. End of story.
Right.
And there you go.
Okay.
There you go, Wolf. That is from the top himself. You can believe that like anything.
I thought, before you move on, Dermot, I thought we had an option to extend it by a year anyway.
We do, yeah.
We do.
Well, there we go. So surely we're going to do that unless we're that stupid.
No, it will be extended. Conte's on a mission here. On a mission. He's not going anywhere.
Big up Terry Wright as well. Haven't seen you for a long time in the channel, so welcome back as well, Terry Wright. And Lee said, cheers for the welcome back, folks. Great to have you here and great to have you back. Right. Let's get on about the best player. I think we're also pleased, Sonny. I'll start with you, Philip. And now with Son now off the mark, will we see the old Sonny back?
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying this since the goal drought started for Sonny. As soon as he gets one goal, that's him back in the groove again. I mean, you saw the reaction to the first goal, and which was brilliant. And then he goes and does an even better one for the second. And I think I saw a picture of his father in the stand, and his father was crying.
I watched the video. The video earlier.
So, I mean, the Son is now back, and all I can say is God help any defence that we're playing in the next few weeks. It's just a pity, really, the international break is coming when it is, because he will be rare against the Gunners. Now, I have to a bit of advice, though, and a bit of caution. There is talk the Gunners game may not go ahead because of the rail strike.
Yeah, it's rail strike, yeah.
Remember Brighton's game yesterday?
They can get coaches, for God's sake. There's coaches. They can get a coach.
I don't know, but it's local derby, and there's no team travelling too far. I don't understand why, but it's definitely been rumoured that it may not be played. I hope it is played, because I'd love to see Sonny getting at the Gunners' defence, because they have not been tested yet, and by God, they're going to be tested when we play them.
Yeah. This one from Ollie. Just quickly, before I go to you, Mark, on this. Juve just lost to Monza. I didn't know Monza was in the Italian football team.
I thought it was cheese.
I thought it was a racetrack.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a racetrack.
Monza's a card. It's a credit card.
Yeah. There you go. Today, so they won't even wait for Conte. Allegri will be gone very soon.
Pochettino will go there.
I say Zidane will go there. I think Zidane might actually.
Is he not waiting for the French job?
He'd be waiting a while for the French job, but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark. I mean, we've got Sonny now. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Will we see the old Sonny back now?
Yeah, it just goes to show, though, that giving a player a rest and because let's face it, dropping him is a kick at the backside, and he come back firing. Yeah. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing Harry miss out a game. So give him a kick up the arse as well. I mean, how many years has he been with us and he's been first name on the sheet? He's got to realise that we got 50-odd games at least this year. And you can't play everyone, and hopefully, all right, Harry's still scoring, but it wouldn't do him any harm to sit a game out and come on as sub. Because it'll give him that, right, I've got to do it, I've got no choice, or else I won't be in the team. Not that you can say that about Harry, obviously. But, I mean, it doesn't do anyone any harm just to miss out and come on,
Ellie, same to you. Will CDL Sonny back?
I don't think Harry's going to be dropped anytime soon. That's
No,
the problem.
nor do I, to be honest. I don't know why
He
I said it.
doesn't. When you say no, it's like rotation. I agree with you. Rotation helps
Yeah,
because he'll get a rest as well, especially in the League Cup and possibly the FA Cup. But I can't see Conte dropping him for a Prem game. Not if he's fit, anyway. No way, because he's a top striker. You don't drop your top striker. But yeah, I just feel we've come to a crescendo in our performances. You know, like we're getting there. We're slowly stepping up a little bit more in terms of what I want to see. Right, I want to see better passing, more movement off the ball. I saw yesterday there was some poor passing, but in general, the passes that we did were really excellent, especially Kulu's one to Kate at the back post. That hurts teams and gets you goals. Højbjerg's pass to Sonny, time to perfection. Brilliant. Bentancur's run through the middle. There's lots of good points that you can look at that game and say, yes, we performed to a better level, you know, but there were some very bad points as well. But what we got to do now is to iron out all the bad mistakes that we're making, keep it simple at the back. Because I was thinking we were putting a lot of pressure on Lloris, and we know what his kicking's like. But luckily for us, his kicking was really good yesterday. But it can go pear-shaped as well, and we could have got caught out quite a few times. But I'm seeing lots of positives in our performance, which I do like. Yeah.
I mean, this is Sonny's third hat-trick for the team. The first hat-trick we got when we beat Southampton 5-2. And then when we beat Villa 4-0, he got another hat-trick. And then he got the hat-trick yesterday. So that's 30, I think he's 15th. No, he's 23rd in the all-time Premier League list for hat-tricks. And I mean, I found this little thing today as well when I was doing stuff for the show, and it really was where have I put it now? Anyway, I'll find it. This was it here. It was Sonny's quote after yesterday, and he said the frustration and the disappointment just came out of my body. I couldn't move. I was looking at the stands and thinking, I'm out of this tunnel. I mean, Philip, what was it like when he got his first goal of the season yesterday? I mean, what was the atmosphere like?
It was amazing. It was just as if someone let the cork out of a champagne bottle. It was just bubbly. Everybody was up on their feet, high-fiving each other, and the applause went on for at least a minute, I would say, after he got it. It was just, but then again, I know it was a shot from 25 yards out, but you're still waiting for bloody VAR to step in and say there was something wrong, you know. But no, it was just like a release of pressure once he got the ball, because we all knew that's it. He's back. Yeah. And then when he got the second one with the left foot shot, I mean that was nearly as good. Everybody just could not believe it. And then the third one, he looked at first of all whether it was going to be knocked off or offside. But it was great to get a VAR decision. Quite rightly, we got a VAR decision in our favour, you know. And Sonny got his hat-trick, which was, you know, and who would have thought that when we saw the team sheet at 4:30 yesterday evening? That Sonny would be leaving the ground 3 hours later with a match ball.
I mean, Philip, guys, I mean, this is his stats. I mean, they're quite unbelievable. 239 appearances, 47 assists, and 96 goals, and 1 golden boot.
Well, that's 143 times he's been involved in the goal in 239 matches. That's about 60%. That is special.
I mean, how much should we buy him for? Was it 20 million, 25 million? 12 million?
12 or 15.
It was something around there, wasn't it?
We
bargain of the century.
It is bargain. I mean, Philip, just this quick question on the golden boot. I saw a lot of it yesterday saying that he's become selfish. He's let the golden boot go to his head. All this crap.
No, I'll tell you.
Why do you think he had such a bad start? Do you think it was just from last season? Do you think it's with all the Conte's pre-season? the South Asian tour we had. Everything just caught up with him, and he needed just to get it out of his system, sort of thing.
No, I think every striker that ever was, that ever played the game for the last 150 years, goes through bad patches in their career. Yeah. It's just the way it happens. I mean, Jimmy Greaves once went through a drought, and he said it was the worst 15 minutes of his life.
You took my words, Philip. You took my words. I was going to say that.
So, you know, strikers go through these patches, and you naturally get very worried about it. But, like, class is permanent. Form is temporary. It'll always come back, and it always would come back. And to get it kick-started back with a hat-trick, you can't do better than that. So, you know, it's I'd say you could write a thesis on it and still not come out with a proper answer why this happens to strikers. It's happened to every striker I can think of. It's happened to Harry Kane. It's happened to Lukaku. It's happened to Ronaldo even. They all get a period where they cannot hit the ball off in 2 feet. But it soon passes.
Chris said Son cost us 22 million. We've got Toxic Hot Shot, big up Toxic Hot Shot. It says Son class is permanent. Chris is saying Son is left foot, right foot, pure quality. I mean, there's a few that are talking about. We've got Paul Pablo, big up Paul. Thank you. He says good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
Headshot saying it is a 3-5-2, a better formation with Basuma in the 3 midfield. Hold on to that question. That's my next question to this panel, and we will be talking about that. But look, I'm so pleased for Sonny. I'm really over the moon for Sonny. Look, Texas Hodge said 3-5-2, and it. I mean, this is my next chance. I'll start with you, Philip. With Conte using 3 in midfield in the match yesterday, did that help Son, do you think, get his 3 goals? Do you think that sort of changed your position for Son? That he didn't have to play where did that help? It
did. I mean, Conte acknowledged the fact that Basuma coming on allowed the formation of the team to get the best out of Kane and Son. And the best out of Son was 3 goals. Because he gave like especially that first one, like he ran. How far did he run with the ball? 20 yards with two Leicester players in front of him. And then bang. You know, I mean, I don't think if he'd have come on with the previous formation, he would have been sitting a bit deeper. It allowed him to get that bit further forward to allow to do what he does best. Basically, is attacking the defenders and beating them from 20 yards. So it would have been, yes, it did. I mean, the whole chemistry of the team changed when we went to 3 in the middle. So, you know, yes, it helped on, and it also, there was a couple of other chances as well. Romero missed one. Okay, they wouldn't have counted from offside, but I mean that would have been another goal on there. We'd be talking about a 7-2, not a 6-2.
I know. That's a bit.
Ellie, I've got this for you, and then I will go around to you, Mark, with this one. I mean, this will be a bit of a talking point, and please get your thoughts in the comments as well. Can Conte really trust Sanchez? Right. Can I just quickly give my thought on this?
Yeah, of course you can.
Right, my thought on this is just leave him at home. Don't play him. Just leave him at home. Drop him off somewhere. As I said before, for anything that is holy, he looked like he looked like a deer that had been in the middle of the road, got a car coming towards him and the headlights, and he was standing there. It looked like he'd been startled. How many more times? And people were saying, like with Dave saying it as well, and myself and a few other, you're being harsh on him. He's a good player. He cannot fucking play. I mean, look at the penalty he gave away yesterday. It wasn't even a tackle. I wouldn't mind if he went in and he took the player. I could understand that. It wasn't even a tackle. Ellie, can Conte trust Sanchez?
I don't even think Sanchez trusts himself, to tell you the truth. He's a very nervous player, and he gets that naturally because he's not very good. He's not a very good footballer. He's more of an athlete. You know, there's players that can play football, and there's players that are athletes, and he's one of those. You know, he's got to where he is through his athleticism, the thing is, his athleticism sometimes even lets him down because when he can get there, and when he does get there, because he can't play football, he does the wrong choice. He hasn't got a football brain either. You know, like it was evident with that tackle yesterday. All he had to do is use his athleticism to get round the player and make a clean tackle like Ledley King used to do. Because Ledley King knew this boy, he hasn't got a clue what to do. And he just gets found out so many times, and his passing's not good either. He's too nervous on the ball, makes all the crowd get nervous. And I just think the managers that play him, they obviously see his athleticism could be an attribute to the team. But if you haven't got the football prowess to go with it, you're letting the side down. And I can't understand how Conte plays him. You know, I mean, you had Romero's coming up to being a world-class defender, and he's on the bench. And we see Sanchez, and I heard all the gossip in the crowd about him, and it's all true. You can't blame the crowd because he lets us down time and time again. I mean, he hit the bar yesterday because he's athletic. Yeah. You know, it's not because he's good at football. It's because he's athleticism and can jump high. You know, but we don't need that sort of defender. We need a defender with a bounce. You know, like Longley's got. Right. You know, like Romero's got. And that's strong in the tackle as well.
Mark Sanchez.
I just don't know why managers trust him.
I don't think no manager trusts him. Mark Sanchez.
They play him.
Do you think he plays better with better defenders around him, or do you just think he's Bambi on ice, as I call him? He really is Bambi on ice. I mean, that tackle yesterday, I would have had more respect for him. I said it before. If he went through the player,
yeah,
he didn't even tackle him.
He barely touched.
They got a penalty.
Huh?
Well, he did because they got a penalty.
Yeah, but it wasn't a proper tackle, Mark. I mean, if that was any other defender, the leg would have went through him. Yeah. He would have got the ball first, and the referee wouldn't give penalty. Do you think it's lack of playing time? Do you think he just misses Toby and Jan? Or what is it? What makes Sanchez such a bad player?
No, I'm going to come at this from a slightly different angle. It wasn't so long ago that we went, was it 9 hours without conceding when he was playing and Romero was injured? It was something like that, wasn't it? It was 8 or 9 hours. I mean, I think he's been out for, he's been out for a while now and he hasn't played. I think he just sees the lights and gets terrified. But once he gets, a run, but with him, I think it's on the first game he gets in the team. If he has a mare like he did yesterday, then his confidence is shot to pieces. But when he come in the last time, if he can go a couple of games, his confidence grows. But I agree with you, he is hopeless, to be honest. We don't need.
No.
Philip?
I can't wait for your answer for him. I will going to ask the question. I know what the answer's going to be, but I'll just ask the question anyway. Can Conte really trust Sanchez?
No, you can't. I don't think any of us can.
No. You know that man on what's it called? Vicar of Dibley. Oh no.
Let's face it.
Can I just say that man you're on about? He used to live in my town.
Oh.
He passed away in a care. He passed away in a care home in my town.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Sanchez would only be in a team when Romero isn't, or with injury problems. A squad player at best, and should not be letting near any important Premier League matches, in my opinion.
You're using player in the loosest term.
I mean, he's not that bad. He's a decent player, but he don't. He's like a rabbit in the headlights at times. If he's faced with any any potential danger, he panics. You know, and invariably,
Yeah.
if he should turn to the right and clear the ball, you can be sure he'll turn to the left and get dispossessed. He's just one of
Yeah.
those players
Like
that doesn't
like
seem
I
to have a
said,
very footballing brain.
yeah, he hasn't got a footballing brain. He's an athlete. He can
Yeah.
get there, but when he's there, he doesn't do the right thing, or
He's
rarely
quick.
does the right thing.
He's quick
Yeah,
and he
he's
gets back
He can
quickly. But
recover.
you need to have
Yeah.
the know-how to get rid of the ball once you've
Yeah.
got it. And unfortunately, he doesn't. Most of his clearances will either go out of play or to the opposition.
Yeah.
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 Look,
Yeah.
I think we
True.
all agree
True.
Sanchez is as useless as sending an
Chocolate
Eskimo
teapot.
to the Sahara Desert trying to sell sand to the Eskimos. Honest to God, he's that useless. Right, look, a few more things before we end up, and then we'll end the show. I've got here one of Conte's quotes from yesterday, and I just want your thoughts on it, Philip, what he said, and I'll get you guys thoughts on this one. I'll start with you, Philip, with this. He says, he was asked about the win yesterday. It was an important win. To get 3 points was vital for us. I thought we started well, but after 10 minutes, we conceded a penalty. Then Hugo was good to save the penalty. But to have another bad situation was not so good. For me, the confidence. But at the same time, we were very good to score 2 goals, and after that, we lost a bit of confidence to play the ball. I saw my players a bit scared. I don't know why, but we have to work on this aspect. In the second half, we have seen another game. We played with confidence, with great energy. In the first half, around 20-25 minutes, we didn't have so much energy. In the second half, we had a lot more energy. That means that maybe we have to improve our mentality and manage that well. I mean, Philip, what do you think Conte's trying to get at there? And what do you think of his overall performance yesterday with the substitutes, with the lineup and everything? Do you think Conte himself has turned the corner?
I think he's having a dig at the psychological training that, you know, the boys we have, the whatever you call them, psychologists that work with the team and try and improve the mental strength and stubbornness. I think he's having a go at them there that they're not doing their job right. Because right enough, we did look a bit scared in the first half. But one thing I'd like to know is why the hell doesn't Conte give his halftime team talks before the game starts?
Yeah.
Because how many times did he come out in the second half and looked like a completely different outfit? It happened against Southampton. It's happened against Wolves, I think. It's happened up to a point against Chelsea, because we got the draw there. So, you know, if it, some little tweaking is needed in the psychology of the players. He should be building them up, and the staff should be building those guys up to say, we're unbeatable. We're not going to get beat today. And let them believe that throughout the game. He says we improve our mentality. That's the crucial part of that quote. And Conte never says anything there's not a hidden meaning behind. And that is my meaning there. Is he'll be telling the boys in the psychology department, or wherever you want to call it, to work on the various players that need help. But there are a few of them.
And Mark, I mean, you look, he's saying we switched off after 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes we conceded the penalty. Then Hugo had to take the penalty again. Do you think that had a bit of played in our minds a bit, and that after Sanchez, what he did, we sort of lost confidence in our defence? Do you think that's what Conte's also saying, that if things go bad for us, we shouldn't let it play in our minds, we should dust ourselves down, return to what we do and go again? Do you think that is what he's also trying to say as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're playing bottom of the league, it's like I've already said they're pants, and they are. All right, they're in a stat. Well, we won't go into this again, but they're not very good. They're struggling at the moment, and I was expecting us to be 3 or 4 up at half time, to be honest. But I mean, he's got to take some of the blame, I think, because he keeps playing that 2 in the middle, the 3-5-2. How many of us have been screaming about doing the 3-5-2? We've all been saying it. I mean, you ain't got. I know I've said this before as well, but virtually every game we get outnumbered in midfield. That can't continue. Our next game against that lot, they will murder us. if we don't have three in the middle.
Mhm.
They'll absolutely destroy us. Not that I don't want to see that, obviously, but they will. They'll just run through us.
Mhm.
It's as simple as that.
And
You know, I mean, hopefully he's learned the lesson that the three in the middle is the way to go. And maybe in January we can get. Well, I'd like Madison to come in. I've said this, but like we need. And you got Skippy coming back. You know, I mean, if he can't see that we need three in the middle, then you know.
I think he knows after yesterday.
yeah, I think he does. Look, Ellie, look, I'll bring it up again. Just something else that I noticed in here. He was talking about energy in the first half, around 20 to 25 minutes. We didn't have so much energy in the second half. We had loads of energy. Do you think why is that? Why is that we don't start games well, but we end games well, like we did on the POCH? We seem to be stronger. Is it a mentality thing? Is it Conte saying to the players, look, let's soak up the pressure, let's soak it up and then go at them? Or what is it? I mean, he's used that thing twice there. And also, as Paul Pablo says in the chat, like a double question, then I will go back to Philip and Mark with this. Luis is captain. Should we have a different captain in the team? Do you know? I'm sorry, it's a double barrel question, but I mean, the energy.
Well, you know my answer on that, don't you? Already, you know that I'm going to say Højbjerg should be our captain because he trusts Højbjerg as well. Yeah, it doesn't come to any surprise since my name's Queen Ellie Højbjerg.
You've never said that to me before, Ellie. You've always said to me, Sanchez should be captain. That's what you've told me privately. So, you know,
yeah, stop telling me like. Right, I think what happens, right, after Lloris saved that penalty and then they retook it, it's like our heads dropped a bit, and it is a mentality thing. You've got to pick yourself up, brush yourself down and get going again. What they do, they don't brush themselves down. They just stay like flat, you know, and the performance becomes flat, and then the confidence comes from being able to pass the ball well as well. You know, if you're losing the ball a lot, the other players thinking, what's going on here? And they're trying to put their energy into the game as well. And then they lose their way as well because they come out of position. And we saw that a lot. When he changed over the wing backs, it worked a lot better. I just think they tend to switch off a lot as well. They switch off and then they let the other team dominate the midfield. And like you said, Mark and Philip, the five in the middle is going to work. For a three in the middle with the two wing backs, it works. And it's not fair for those two players, Bentancur and Højbjerg, to take the brunt of the criticism because they get criticised a lot, those two players, and they're taking a lot of weight off the team because they're doing the work of four men. Because in the olden days when you used to play 4-4-2, but now the modern game has moved on and you play with wing backs a lot of the time. Yeah, but I just feel that they lose concentration as well. And then when they get the kick up the backside from Conte, I agree with you as well, Philip, that they should get that bloody first team talk first. Concentrate, boys. Do your job in the first half. Get the job done. If you get the job done in the first half, the second half should come as easy as that, shouldn't it? Really?
Yeah. That's when you take Kane off. That's when you take Kane off.
You could,
3 or 4 up.
And you can start passing it about and playing Ole football. You know, like we did. I think we played a little bit of Ole football towards the end. We go, hey, keeping the ball. You know, but you could do that if you have a very good first half.
Yeah.
Because we were far superior to Leicester in terms of forward play. But the midfield, they were dominating it because we only had 2 there. Yeah. So the mentality bit, I think he is pointing a finger at the people at the club when he says that. I agree with you as well, Phil. But I just think overall we just switch up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we do. And it's hard to get your energy levels up then when you switched off.
It is. I agree. Look, this last question, we're going to finish up soon because the Irish Hotspur, I think, is about to start soon. So we try to be off before the Irish Hotspur comes on. Guys, who was your man in the match? I'll start with you, Philip.
Well, it's a very tough one. It's between Sanchez and Son. Who will I give it to? Has to be number 7, Heung-min Son.
Yeah. Ellie?
Heung-min Son. Look at all these lovely fans that I was with at the bottom. Heung-min Son. You got to give it to him. Come on, Sonny.
Yeah,
He was
Mark,
fantastic.
Yeah, Mark, who was your man of the match?
Philip took my words again. I was going to say Sanchez. No,
Sanchez is left foot.
Yeah, there's only one in there. There's only one. He was only on for about half an hour.
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
To be honest, right, Son is obviously man of the match, but you got to big up Zuma as well.
Yeah.
Because he really did change the game. Yeah, you must be.
And it has to be, Andrew Gregory says it has to be Supersonic. I agree. Look, guys, thank you so much for tonight. Really had a blast doing this. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We're back on the 1st of October in the Premier League against this lot.
Yeah.
So, look, we will be doing, I think Ellie's going to get a couple of Arsenal fans on, aren't you, Ellie?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I know 2 at least.
Yeah, so it will be.
Very bad company of keeping Ellie.
Yeah, you know, I should really kick her in the ankle.
It will be me. It will be Philip and Ellie against 2 Arsenal fans. I will be sort of refereeing it, or Mark.
I'll be WhatsApping.
I was going to say, am I not invited?
Yeah, of course you are, Mark.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Is this watch along?
Of course you are. You're part of the furniture, Mark.
But look, we will be having a Tottenham Arsenal debate with a couple of Arsenal fans before that match. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
Philip, thank you so much again, Ellie, Mark. Thank you all for coming on. If you have,
Thank you, Mark.
Hit a like, hit
subscription,
hit the notification
bell. Great questions tonight, Dermot. Great questions. Brilliant.
Donald again for coming in. Big up to Lisa. She came back in as well. She went to till Son came in. I was with Bentacle for man and match. But I know.
One more thing. This is nothing to do with what we've been talking about, but just like an answer to a question. Hugo Lloris had a penalty, saved a penalty yesterday, and it was retaken for encroachment. Can I ask why the same punishment was not given to Dean Henderson 2 weeks ago when he saved Harry Kane's penalty? Because he was as far off the line as Hugo was. All I want to
I haven't thought about that. Yeah.
There is no answer, Philip. It's the FA or the VAA being anti-Tottenham is normal. Yeah. That's what it is. That was one of my questions, and I forgot to use it, Philip. So thank you for saying that, because that was on my mind to say that. Look, for me, it's anti-VAR.
Yeah.
Anytime we get a VAR decision, 9 times out of 10, you know it's going to go against us. Absolutely going to go against us.
It was nice to get one yesterday anyway.
It is. And I didn't think the penalty had to be retaken. He nearly saved the second one, to be fair.
Yeah, he was close. Can I just say, Bentacle ain't scored for like 2 or 3 years. But how well did he take that goal?
Brilliant.
When he robbed Ndidi, and he just burst forward and sort of curled it round. It was unbelievable. You thought he was a striker.
Harry Kane had been proud of that one.
Yeah, of course he would.
I know, he would have. Yeah, because he's missed a few like that this season.
Yeah, he hasn't scored for 2 or 3 years.
That's right.
And he just curled it round the keeper straight in the bottom corner. Unbelievable.
And this one's for Philip, right? So I was watching the Brentford Arsenal game, and I think they had Martin Keown, and it was so biased towards Arsenal. I felt sick. I wanted to vomit, because Sky Sports are so pro Arsenal and anti-Spurs that you want to write them a stiff email and say, "What are you playing at?"
Yeah.
So I'm nominating Phil to do that tonight.
HOTSPUR Sports is a rest home for retired Arsenal wannabes.
Yes, you see what I mean?
Them are there. Alan Smith,
Okay.
Martin Keown,
Alan
God knows
Smith,
how more. Ray
Paul
Parler.
Merson, Thierry Henry's on BT Sport.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
listen.
Ellie's quickly becoming an Arsenal lover. I'm getting very worried now. So we'll have words.
No, I hate Arsenal. What are you on about? Don't put me in that bucket. I'll
Look,
be
can
sick
I-
again.
Can I just say thank you so much for all the lovely words, Demin, for you saying about the shows. All of us really
Very,
appreciate
very
Yeah.
appreciative from our
Yeah,
heart.
Big up.
Thank you so much
Big up,
indeed.
Kev.
It means the world for us. I just need a word with you, for you three, just when we in the background when we finish. So just
That's no problem.
listen.
We'll
Thank
stay
you all for watching. We'll be back. Yeah, we're back in the week. It's international break now, so there's no Premier League football for 2 weeks. We're starting our new series, a look back in time. We're going all the way back to the 60s, where I'm sure Philip was round in short pants, round in Birmingham somewhere, kissing the girlfriend behind the bike sheds.
There's a twinkle in my mother's eye.
Yeah, and Ellie wasn't even thought of. Ellie was like me, fishing around somewhere. And as for
I'm
Mark,
not too far behind Philip.
Mark was in the shed somewhere drinking beer. That's what.
No, I
Mark
wasn't. In the 60s, I
Can I-
wasn't born. Let's get this straight.
Can I say one thing? I wanted to say one thing, right? I was at the Spurs ground yesterday, and this lovely lady, Sue, recognised me. She said, "You're Ellie from THFC till I die." And a lot of other people recognise me as well. So big up everybody who's recognising Queen Ellie Hoybier. Thank you from my heart. It's very humbling, you know, when you get recognised and they recognise you from our channel, you know.
Yeah.
I got
So
recognised
big
in
up to
Goring.
Sue as well.
I got recognised in Goring the other week. So I was
You
walking.
see what I mean?
This is your
You
fellow.
could be,
Yeah, and it's a really surreal experience because you're thinking, what? You know, it really is. But look, we were back in the week with.
I've been on Crime Watch. I've been on Crime Watch, so everyone recognises me.
Yeah. I bet you have, Mark. But listen, we'll be back
Oh,
with two
God.
new series. A look at the time, the swinging 60s for the great Super Spurs, and then the rise and fall and rise of Tottenham Hotspur in the 70s. That will be
Spurs.
so international break. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a lovely time. Enjoy your week. Be careful. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. God bless you all. We'll be back in the week.
Dream on, Sonny.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Sonny.